and welcome to another video. In today's lesson we will learn how to make this absolutely beautiful shawl. The pattern is designed by Beatrice Designs and it is called the Midnight Breeze Shawl. I love the stitches that are used in this, and also with this beautiful yarn it makes it really pretty. The yarn that we are using is Red Heart Boutique, and you can find that on redheart.com. I will put all the links that you need in the description box. There are quite a number of different colourways in this yarn, so please go and check it out. Redheart.com also has many free patterns and is a great place to get inspiration for different colours to use in your projects. So let's get started on the lesson. For our supplies, first of all we're going to need the written pattern. The link to this will be in the description box. We need 840 yards of worsted weight yarn, and the one used in the pattern is Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable, which is this one here, and it is the colour Tidal. I have got 3 balls out of a brand new packet. So I've got 3 of these, but I've also got this spare one from a previous project, the Unforgettable Scarf, and that's probably 3/4 of a ball, so I do have a backup just in case I need more, because my tension may be different. We're going to need a pair of scissors, a yarn needle with a large eye, and also a crochet hook to go with your project. I've got a 5.5. It is an eye size crochet hook, and that's what's called for in the pattern. So I'll just show you the ball band just so that you can see information in case you want to substitute your yarn. So it's the Tidal. Here are the details. It's a 6mm crochet hook, and I've also used a 4mm, which is a G-size crochet hook with this yarn as well. So if you're going to substitute something that isn't with the Unforgettable yarn, you can use that as a guide. The Red Heart Shimmer, the Red Heart Shimmer would also be a great substitute as well, because it's about the same thickness. So it's 100% acrylic, and here are our yards. So we need 3 of these balls. Like I said, I do have an extra one just in case. And it's a 3.5 ounce and it's 100 grams. And it's 256 meters. So that will give you some idea if you want to substitute for a different color or texture or anything like that. So this shawl is by Beatrice Designs, and I have to say it's absolutely stunning. And at the top here it says, the beautiful shawl was inspired by the cool summer nights in the mountains of Northern California. And it would also make a wonderful prayer shawl. And I've never been to Northern California, but looking at this shawl makes me want to go, because it's amazing. You can also add this pattern to your Ravelry favourites and also to your queues. And if you've made it, make sure you go in there, and I don't really know how to use Ravelry very well, but I know you somehow add it to the original design. So this shawl measures 18 inches by 78 inches. And like I said, we're going to need 840 yards of worsted weight yarn. Recommend use self-striping yarn, because I think that does make this beautiful. And there we go, Unforgettable by Red Heart in the colour Tidal. And there's a few different colours in that range, and they're all absolutely stunning. So it's an eye size, so we're going to pair of scissors. Here are all the stitches that we're going to use, and I will be showing you how to do these. So don't panic if you don't know how to do them. And we've got the instructions. There are plenty of beautiful photos in this written pattern to help us out. And I'll tell you what, they're probably going to help me too, because it will show me what I need to do, because I will be learning how to make this pattern along with you guys watching the video. So I've just printed that out. There is a print button on the website, and it's just down, like after you've seen all the pattern, it's just down the bottom if you can't find it. So you can go across and print that out. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to chain 191 chains, and you'll notice I've got stitch markers every so often. And what I did, I chained 50, put a stitch marker, chained another 50, put a stitch marker, chained another 50, put a stitch marker, and then did 41. So if I lost count anywhere, I didn't have to go back and start again. I could just go back to that stitch marker because I knew that that was correct before the stitch marker. What we want to do now is, starting row 1, we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook and each one across. So we don't count the one that's on our crochet hook. This is number 1 and this is number 2. We're going to go into there, pull up a loop and pull through. And we're going to do this in every single chain until we get to the end. And when we get to the end, we will have 190 single crochets all together. And I suggest that you count to make sure you have 190 stitches. So repeat that all the way to the end of the chain. I have counted my single crochets and I have 190 stitches, and that's what you should have. I've just put my stitch markers back in. And what I actually did is I placed one in that last stitch to remind me to crochet into it, because if I forget, I'll be highly annoyed when I get to the next row and it doesn't fit in. So what it says, row 2, pop the yarn back on there, pop that over that side, row 2 and chain 3 counts as double crochet now and throughout. So chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and turn. Well, I've already turned, so just making sure you're going in that direction. You've got your chain 3 and it says skip next stitch, double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So skip that stitch, yarning over. So skipping that one, double crochet into the next 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Double crochet in previous skip stitch to form a crossover stitch. So the stitch that we've just skipped, which is there, just here, we're going to double crochet into there. So yarning over, go back to the skip stitch and put it through and work your double crochet. Making sure you get both loops. I don't think I've got both loops, so I can show you that again. So yarning over. No, I didn't. I only got one loop. So into the stitch. I'm just making sure. That probably looks like a big mess to you, but there's 2 loops here on my crochet hook. So into the stitch, pull up a loop. And I'm not working this stitch very tight, through 2 and through 2. That's better. That's grabbed both loops down in here. Let's just see if we can show you. Gone through those 2 loops there for my double crochet. So that's the first one I've ever done of those. That wasn't too bad. And now it says repeat that again. So skip the next stitch and double crochet in the next 3. So we've worked into this one. See how there's a stitch coming out of it there? So skip this one and work a double crochet into the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to double crochet into the stitch that we just skipped, which is there. Making sure you go through both loops. So we're going back to the skipped stitch, making sure we've got both loops on the crochet hook. Pull through. And we'll do that again. So this is the very first, well, this is the second time I've ever done this stitch. So going into the stitch through both loops, pulling up a loop, pull through 2 and pull through 2. The trick was to keep your tension on your yarn. Okay, so skip the next stitch. We've already worked into there. See, there's a double crochet coming out of here. Skip this stitch and into the next 3, work a double crochet in each. Into the skipped stitch, which is over here, I'm going to work a double crochet. So keep tension on that yarn. Go into the skipped stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then through 2. I love that little crossover bit. That looks really fantastic. So skipping the next stitch, so we've already done that one, so skipping this one, going into there for 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, into the skipped stitch, which is over here, keeping your tension on your yarn, yarning over, going into the skipped stitch, pull through 2 and 2, so it looks like I haven't grabbed that 2 loops. We've got to grab those 2 loops. And sure, I could edit this bit out where I'm not getting it quite right, but then you'll think that I do everything right the first time, and as you can see, I don't. So go back to that skip stitch and making sure we've got 2 loops. So 2 loops, pull through 2 and through 2. That's better, we've got that loop disappeared now. So again, we're going to repeat this all the way across. So again, if you're not sure, skipping the next stitch, into the next 3, work 1 double crochet, and then into the skipped stitch we're going to work a double crochet going through both loops. Yep, got both loops here, just there. Pull through 2 and 2. Awesome, so that's looking great. And sure, I could edit my videos so they're absolutely perfect and there's no mistakes, but then you'd think that's how I crochet, and that's not right. Because as you just saw then, I don't get it first time either. So that's looking fantastic, and we need to repeat this all the way across, which I won't film because that will bore you to tears. And then it says double crochet in the last stitch, but I will show you when I'm up to the end of this row. So I'm loving how that cross stitch is looking. It's looking really, really good. So I will see you at the end of this row. So I am just on my last crossover stitch, and this is my last stitch here, so I'm going to take that out. And it says to double crochet in the last stitch. So going into there for a double crochet. And it says you should have 47 crossovers and 2 of the double crochets, and I've counted mine and I do have that, so that is awesome. I love that feeling when you get to the end and you've done it right. And that says rows 3 to 6, repeat row 2 4 times. So that's row 3, 4, 5 and 6, that's 4 times. So we're going to do that off camera. You just need to repeat what we just did. So it's 1, 2 and 3, so the chain 3, turn your work around, so just moving that over there, and again skipping the first stitch, double crochet into the next 3, and then working a double crochet into the skipped stitch, which is back there, for that double crochet. And then repeating that all the way across, and we're going to repeat that 4 times. So when we get to the end of our 4 times, we have just finished row 6, and this is row 1 with the single crochet there. We just did row 2, we're starting row 3. You want to continue until we have 6 rows, and we're just repeating the previous row that we did. So I will meet up with you when we've finished that part of the pattern. I have just finished up to row 6, so we have 1 row of single crochet and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of the crossover shell stitch, and I think it's looking absolutely beautiful. I'm loving how the colours are changing and how it's looking. So now we're up to row 7. So we need to grab our crochet hook, pop that back on. We're going to chain 4. And that counts as a triple crochet or a treble crochet. Sorry, it's a triple crochet. I was just checking the pattern there just to make sure. So a triple crochet, and it counts as, the chain 4 counts as that triple crochet throughout the pattern as well. We're going to skip 3 stitches and triple crochet into the next. So yarn over, and we yarn over twice for the triple crochet, and we want to skip 3 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, and we're working into that next stitch. I'm going to pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2 and pull through 2. Chain 2, and triple crochet in the first skip stitch. So going back to the first skip stitch, which is here, because that's 1, 2, 3, and that was our 4th, because we skipped 3 stitches there. So we're going to go back into here. So we're going to wrap our crochet hook twice, go down into the first skipped stitch and work the stitch there. That's our first crossover. It's looking good. And then it says repeat across, so we skip. So you're going to have to make sure you pay attention to where your stitches are coming out of. So here's a stitch coming out of that one. So that one's already done. We skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and triple crochet into that stitch here. So wrapping twice, going into that stitch there, chain 2, and then triple crochet, so wrapping twice, back to the first skipped stitch, which is here. So 1, 2, and then 3 back it is. So working that stitch. Starting to look really good. And we repeat this all the way across. So we'll do that one more time. So it's wrapping twice, skipping 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, working into the next one, chain 2, wrapping twice, going to the first skipped stitch, I like these crossover stitches, they look really good. We work this all the way across. I'm just going to do it one more time. So wrapping twice, 1, 2, and I just like to put my finger on the stitches there because I find sometimes they fall off. So skip 3, 1, 2, 3, into the 4th, chain 2, wrapping twice, just going to zoom out a bit, wrapping twice, go back to the first skip stitch, so that's 1, 2, you can count back 3, 1, 2, 3, if that helps you as well, you could do it that way. And we're going to repeat this all the way across to the end. And what we will need to do is do 1 treble stitch into that last stitch would be on the other end, so that we match it up here. We've got the 1 treble there. So continue on and I'll meet up with you at the end of the row. I've just finished row 7. So our cross stitches there are looking fantastic. When we get to the end, what we're going to do is do a treble, or triple should say, into that last stitch, which is the chain from the previous row. So row 8, it says that we need to repeat row 7. So we turn our work, chain 4, and that's just the row that we just did. So we're going to yarn over twice, we're going to skip 3 stitches, so it's 1, 2, 3, into the next one we're going to work the triple crochet, chain 2, then go back to the first skipped stitch, so it's just there. So yarning over twice and go back to the first skipped stitch. I know this is a little bit hard to see, especially because the wool's slightly fuzzy. And then working our triple crochet. So yarning over twice, skipping 3 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, and going into that next one there. chain 2, go on over twice, go back to that first skip stitch, and we're going to repeat this all the way across. And I will meet with you when we get to the end of this row, and then it'll be time for row 9, and that's just a single crochet row, but I will show you what to do when we get to that one. So continue on and I'll meet you at the end. When we get to the end of row 8, of course we're on to row 9, so we're going to turn our work around and we can chain 1, because this is a single crochet row, and we're going to single crochet all the way across. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into that first stitch for a single crochet, and then each stitch across we're going to do a single crochet. So what you've got to remember on this row is that for every V-stitch there's 4 single crochets. We just did the first one because then we had 2 chains, that's 1, 2, 3, and then the last triple crochet is here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know that we need to do 4 into each part of the V-stitches there, because you've got 1 on each end and then 2 chains in the middle. And then if you do that, that will what's the word? I've gone blank. That will let you keep count of where you're up to, because at the end of this row we need 190 single crochet. So we're just going into each stitch, and I think it'll be easy to skip a chain by accident, so just make sure you're going into each chain. And then we're going to work our way across, and then we're going to count to make sure we have 190 single crochets. When we get to the end of row 9, we're going to have 190 single crochets. Make sure you count them, because you'll need that exact stitch count to make sure your next lot of rows line up. And I used my stitch markers, and I've placed them every 50 stitches so that I didn't have to count again if I lost count. So now working with the pattern, so we're on to row 10, and 10 to 14 is we're repeating row 2, and from now on until we get to row 31 it's just repeating what we have done before. So I recommend that you have this pattern either on your tablet or your iPad and you follow along with the written pattern, because I won't be showing you how to do that because we already know how to do that. You can also print the pattern out like I have and have that beside you, so you know that when you need to do row 2 you just flick back in the pattern to row 2, because we've already done it, so you know how to do it already. And then when we come down here you need to repeat row 7, so again go to row 7 on the pattern and you already know how to do that. So repeat this all the way, and I'm going to meet back up with you when we get to row 31, and we're going to show how to do this section here. But like I said, use a written pattern for this section here. So happy crocheting until we get to there. Mine's turning out really, really pretty. I love how this yarn is coming out. This is how much yarn I have left from, this is the first ball that I've used. There's quite a big chunk missing out of the middle, so it's about that thick on the outside. I'm probably going to get maybe 2, maybe 3 more rows out of that, so that's good. Again, I love how this is coming out, and I love how it's changing colours as it goes along. So I will meet up with you very soon in the video. Of course not in real time, in crochet time, but in the next clip in the video we will start row 31. Here is what mine is looking like so far. I joined my 3rd ball of yarn in, I think it was about 2 rows ago. Actually you can see it, this is actually upside down, this is where I'm working across here. So I've joined it in here. So that's what mine's looking like so far, and that's just to give you an idea on where how far the balls of wool have gone. So you can see it's just over there. So let's start the border of the shawl. This is going to look fantastic when it's blocked. I've literally just put it on the ground there, so the edging just here looks a bit funny, but it is straight. So yeah, let's get started on the edging part. We are on row 31 now, and the first part is quite easy. It's chain 1, and we're going to single crochet in the next 189 stitches. And some people chain 1 and that counts as their first stitch, but personally I like to just put a single crochet in there, and I like to count that as my first stitch, because I find that I lose that chain 1 and I can never find it. But that's not in the pattern, but that's just something personally that I actually do. And what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet all the way across. So just in each stitch from the previous row, you're going to single crochet all the way. And then I'm going to catch up with you when we're at the last stitch of this row, which is right up the other end. So I've got to the end, and I do need to put single crochets into the end stitch, but before I'm doing that, I just place some stitch markers. There's one here, there and there, and that is in the middle. So I fold it in half and put a stitch marker on the middle up here. Then I fold it in half again and then put it into the quarter-way marks. So altogether you got 3 stitch markers, and you'll have 4 groups or 4 sections that we've got marked off there. Because along that side section we need to put 69 stitches, and we're going to be putting 17 stitches into each section to make it even all the way across, and then that equals 68 stitches, and then we just need to add 1 more in there somewhere to give it the 69. So when we get to the end here, it says to do 3 single crochet into the last stitch. So I've got my last stitch here, so we're going to work 3 single crochet into there. So 1, 2 and 3, and this counts as the corner. And it says working along the sides of the rows, single crochet 69 stitches evenly across. So I've got my 4 sections, and into each section, so you can see it better now that it's closer, we're going to put 17 stitches, and we're going to space them out evenly. So there's no real method to this, it's just putting in 17 stitches across. What I'm going to do is in the end of the double crochet rows, so that's these sort of 5 gaps on the end there, I'm going to put 2 single crochet. So into the next gap, into here, another 2 single crochet, again into that one. So it's just on the end of our double crochet row that we had. So we've got 2 in each one across. So our next one, there's a bigger gaps here. They are the triple crochet rows. So I'm going to do 3 in there. So 1, 2, 3. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. 3 in the next. And it says we have to have 17 stitches, so we're going to put 1 more in there. And I know that that's got 4 in there and 3 in the other ones, but it's not going to matter, because once we get the edging on, the frillier edging, you will not notice it at all, and it will sit evenly. It's just that we have to spread these out. So again, we're going to work across, putting 17 stitches in between each stitch marker. And then when we finish that, we're going to make sure we've got our 69 single crochets. So once you've got your 69 stitches all the way across, now I admit it did take me 3 times to get my stitches to add up properly, but I sort of stuck with the theory of doing 3 in the triple end and then 2 into the double crochet ends, and that's how I got to my 17 stitches. I had to mix it up a little bit, but I got there in the end. So as long as you've got those 69 stitches across, we now want to work 3 single crochets into the last stitch to form our second corner. So my last stitch is here, and I'm going to work 3 single crochet. Now it says single crochet 188 stitches across. We've already done our first stitch, so we counted that as 1, and then we will need to do 188 stitches more, and then we'll have our last stitch, and then it says 3 single crochets in the last stitch to form the third corner. Then we're going to crochet up the other side, and that will again be another even 69 stitches all the way across, and 2 single crochets into the same as that beginning stitch that we did, because we only did 1 in the beginning, so we need to put our other 2 at the other end to form the fourth corner. So I will single crochet across this part, and this is for 188 stitches, and I'll meet with you when we get to the other end, and then we will put our next corner in. When we get to our last stitch, we're going to work 3 single crochet into the same stitch, and this is our third corner. Now what we want to do is grab our stitch markers and divide. This is the edge of our, see if we can move that out of the way. This is the edge of our shawl. We've got our stitches going across that way, and this is the edge, or the side, or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to divide that into 4 equal sections, and again we're going to put our 69 stitches across, and we're going to make those even as we can. And then it will be the last corner, and we just put 2 single crochets into that last stitch, but I will show you that when I get to there. So now I'm just going to go and do my 69 stitches evenly all the way across the ends of our scarf, our shawl. I will probably use this as a scarf as well because it's so pretty. So I'll meet up with you when we get to the end of our 69 stitches. So when we get to the end, this is where we did our very first single crochet of this round, and we're going to put 2 single crochet in there, and then that ends our fourth corner, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. And we also need to finish off, and I have no idea where my scissors are, so here we go, they're hiding under a piece of paper. So we're going to leave about 2 to 3 inches, enough to sew in there. Going to yarn over, pull through, and now it's time to start our edging. So now what we're going to do, we're going to work along the ends of the shawl. So this is the short ends of the shawl. We're going to join with a slip stitch to the corner stitch. So if we go to where we did 3 stitches into the last stitch, which is there for me, it's going to be the 3rd stitch. That's number 1 and that's number 2. Going to join in our yarns. We're just going to pull that through. Make sure you've got about 2 to 3 inches in the back so we can sew that in later. I'm just going to join that with a chain, or slip stitch or a chain. I think it's sort of the same thing when we do it that way. And we're going to chain 1 and single crochet into the same stitch. skip 2 stitches and 5 triple crochet in the next stitch. So skip 2, so 1, 2, wrapping our yarn twice, so skipping 2 into the next one. We're going to work 5 triple crochets, so let's pull through 2, through 2, and through 2. I'm going to do this 5 times, so yarning over twice, that's 4. Sorry guys, bashing up the camera. That's 5. It says skip 2 and single crochet into the next stitch. So skip 2, we've just gone into that one, so skip 1, 2, into the next one, work a single crochet. And then it's repeat this across, so we skip 2 again. So 1, 2. So wrap our yarn twice, skipping 2. Oops. Go into that one and work your triple crochet. Wrapping twice, and we're going to work 5 triple crochet into here. So what's that, 4? That's 5. We're going to skip 2 stitches, so 1, 2, into the next one. We're going to work a single crochet. So we're going to have this on the edge so far. I'm going to repeat this across, and I will catch up when we get just to the end of this row. So we're up to row 2, and it says chain 1, single crochet into the first stitch and the next stitch. So go back into that same stitch, or single crochet, and also the next one. Chain 2, skip 1 stitch, single crochet in the next, so skip 1, single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 1, single crochet in the next 3, so 1, 2 and 3, and then repeat again. So chain 2, skip 1, single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 1, single crochet in the next 3. So it's down into that single crochet from the previous row. Chain 2, skip 1, single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 1, and single crochet in the next 3. So I'll just show you again. Chain 2, skip 1, single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 1, single crochet in the next 3. we're going to repeat this all the way across, and yeah, we repeat this all the way across to the end, and want to single crochet in the last 2 stitches, so that will be the same as what we did here. So we'll meet you when we get to the end. So row 3, and we just ended on our 2 single crochets on the end there. So row 3, it says chain 1 and single crochet into the first stitch. So that's the first stitch. That just gives it a nice edge when we just do that single crochet there. So skip a stitch, 3 double crochet into the chain 2 space. So into here, this big hole there. I'm going to work 3 double crochet. One double crochet into the next single crochet. So just here, the single crochet from the previous row, because this is a chain 2 space. So double crochet in there. Three double crochet into the next chain 2 space. So it's here. Work 3 double crochet in there. Skip a stitch, single crochet into the next. So that's skip this stitch, single crochet into there. I'm actually learning how to do this with you guys, so that's why I am pausing every now and again, because I'm just reading the pattern and getting my brain to work to figure it out. So then it says, so we're going to repeat again. So skip a stitch, so that's that little tiny stitch there. Into the next chain 2 space, we're going to work 3 double crochet. One double crochet into the next single crochet, so that's that stitch here in the middle, so double crochet in there, into the next chain 2 space we're going to work 3 double crochet, and then we're going to skip stitch and then into the single crochet, which is here, because these were the 3 single crochets that we did on that previous row. We're going to single crochet, so skip stitch and single crochet in that one. So it's 3 double crochets in each chain 2 space, a double crochet in the top bit, and then when we get to the bottom of the, got the shells that come up there, see the 2 higher parts on the shell, on the lower bit in the middle there it's a single crochet, and on the top higher part it's a double crochet. So repeat that across and I will meet up with you when we get to the other end. So now we are up to row 4 and we're going to chain 1 and single crochet in the first stitch. We're going into there. Double crochet in the next stitch. Two in the next. So 2 single crochet, double crochet in the same stitch. My yarn's getting stuck. So it was single crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 in the next, so it's 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to repeat what we did down the other side of the shell that we've got here, and we're just going to work backwards from what we did there. So the next one will be 1 by itself, the next one will be 2 by itself, the next one will be 1 by itself. So 1 double crochet, 2 into the next, and then 1 double crochet, and single crochet into the next stitch. Don't pay any attention to that, that's an end I need to sew in. So single crochet into there. So could you see how when we got to the top of the stitch we did 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 2, and then we need to repeat that, but we wanted to do it backwards. So the next one would be 1, the next one here is 2, so the next one should be 2, and the next one here should be 1, so the next one here should be 1, and then we've got our single crochet on either side. Because I was reading the pattern thinking, oh, my brain just can't get around all those directions, so I knew once I got to the top of the shell that's where my increase was, and then I just had to repeat what I did but working in it backwards. I hope that made sense and that didn't even confuse you even more. Sometimes when I read things, I read them and I read the same thing twice and it's back to front, and I get completely mixed up. So what we're going to do is we're going to repeat that again. So it was 1 double crochet, 2 into the next, one double crochet, and 2 into the next, and then we're going to repeat what we did, but we're going to work it in reverse. So the next one is 1 by itself. Of course, if you can remember this a different way, then by all means do that too. So we just did the 1, next one is the 2, I found this way is easier to remember than trying to remember what to do, for me personally. So I've just done my 2, so I need to do 1, and single crochet in that next stitch. And if you look at it a different way, it's actually 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. That would be easier, even easier way to remember it. I try and look at things and try and work out a pattern and to remember how to do it, because otherwise my brain just doesn't work properly. And that happens on many occasions. So I'm just going to look at the pattern again, just to make sure that's correct. Yes, I was just making sure what I was saying was correct. So over those 7 stitches, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And then single crochet. Alright, so repeat that across. I think this is looking really pretty. I love how that's becoming sort of one shell right from down the bottom there. It's just becoming one shell. It's looking really, really good. And after this row, we've only got 2 more to go, and then that end of our shawl will be finished. So I'm excited about that. Don't worry about the noise on the side there, the pattern's falling all over the place. So I'll meet up with you when we have the rest of this row done. So our last row, which was row 4, ended with a single crochet in the last stitch. So I've turned my work around and we're going to chain 1, and this is row 5. It's single crochet in the first stitch. So going into that same stitch. Don't take any notice of that, that was just where I had to join some yarn in. I had a knot in my yarn, so I had to rejoin it in. And it says to triple crochet in the next 10 stitches and single crochet in the next, and we're going to repeat that across. So wrapping our yarn twice around the crochet hook and into the next 10 stitches, which is these ones here, we're going to work our triple crochet. So yarning over twice. And I think it's that one there, so I'll just make sure I'm doing 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then to that last one there is 10. And then it's single crochet in the next stitch. So down into here for a single crochet. We are going to do that again, and we're just going to repeat this all the way across, so it's just 10 treble crochets. I'm just going to do this once more. Of course, if you know what you're doing, you can just continue on. I apologise if you can hear the noises in the background. My next door neighbour is being extremely noisy today. How dare they do anything? Got me interested to know what they're doing. So it's just the triple, I keep saying treble, apologise for that as well. It's triple crochet. So sure that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. And then the next stitch is a single crochet. I'm going to repeat this across, and our last stitch is a single crochet into the last stitch, and that will finish off the repeat that we're doing. So we ended the last row with a single crochet, and this is row 6. I'm going to chain 1 and single crochet into the same stitch. We're going to work 2 single crochets in each of the next 10 stitches. So in each of the triple crochets that we did on the previous row, that's going to be 2 single crochets in each of those, and then we're going to single crochet when we get back over here. We're going to work 1 into there. So this row is pretty easy, but I will show you what to do. So going into each stitch, we're going to work 2 single crochets. So we've got one left. When we get to the single crochet down here, I'm going to work one single crochet in there. Then again into the top of the next 10 treble, there I go again, next 10 triple crochet, we're going to work 2 single crochets. And this is our last row, which is really exciting. So now all we have to do after this one is finish off our yarn and do the same for the other side, the short side. And our shawl is ready to wear. It does recommend blocking in this pattern, so I will show you how to do that as well. So single crochet into that stitch there. I'm going to repeat this all the way till the other end. And once we get to the ends, we finish with one single crochet and we cut our yarn, leaving about 2 to 3 inches. And then we just pull through that yarn. And then we're going to sew in any ends that we have hanging about. I've got quite a few from adding all the different balls of yarn in, and also when I got my knot. So what we need to do now is repeat on the other short side of the shawl. And we're going to add this again, so you can go back to the written pattern, or you can use the video again to do that, or if you're really good you could just remember what you did, but I know I won't, so I'll have to read the pattern again. And yeah, I will see you in the next video clip when I have my other end of my shawl finished and we can see how to block this. You're going to need a spray bottle. I don't actually have one at the moment, so I might have to go shopping and find one. If not, we can just put it in the sink with some water and we can do it that way. We'll see how we go, see what I find at the supermarket. Alright, till then, happy crocheting. I will see you in the next video clip. So after I've laid down my shawl, it's nice and flat onto my towel, I've just gone to put some water into my spray bottle. It's actually warm water. It's quite warm to the touch, not that you can feel it, but trust me, it is. And what we're going to do is we're just going to spray onto our shawl. Make sure it's on the spray and not the, there we go, not the one that comes out direct. And what we want to do is just spray all over our shawl, and we want it quite damp. You'd almost class it as wet. Now, I don't know if you can tell how wet that is, but can you see it on my hand? I don't know if you can, but it's quite damp. And I'm going to just spray the whole of my shawl off camera, otherwise you'll get bored sitting me watching me do that, and I'll be back in just a moment. So I'm sorry about the angle of this one, but it's really hard to get all of this into a tiny little camera space. So what I've done, I've sprayed my shawl. I have actually moved it outwards up there, that's why it looks wider at the end, and it's quite damp. I don't know if you can tell through the camera. I'll zoom in so you can have a look. I don't know if that really tells how wet it is, but it is quite damp. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab the shawl and we're going to pull it out. So what we want to do is we want to be stretching it out we're not stretching it so it looks like it's being strangled, we're just stretching it out for its natural give. See how, I don't know if you can tell, but on here the stitches are quite open and they look really good, and as further down we get, they go quite squashed up. So you're just stretching out so the stitches open up, and it shows the beauty of the whole shawl. So we're going to grab our pins, and these things are tiny, and I don't know if they're going to show up on camera very well. That's really hard. There we go. I don't know if you can see them, but they're really tiny. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pin the edge of our shawl. Just going to move my pins up there. And I'm just going about every inch. As I go, I'm pulling just very slightly on my shawl. I'm going to grab the camera in just a sec, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just going to change the camera angle. So here we go. The pins don't show up very well. They're only tiny, and they're quite thin as well. You can see them along the edge there. So that's what I'm doing. Try and get it as straight as possible. See, that bit there's not very straight. So just pin as you go along. I'll do another one. Where are we up to? So I've got one there. Stretch it out a little bit and pin it down. And I'm pushing in sideways. I'm not pushing straight down. Pushing sideways so it grabs the tail. The towel, sorry, not tail. Grabs the towel as I pin it down. Okay, and we want to work all the way along all the edges. Then I'll show you what I'm doing when I get up to the edging that's up there. How cool does it look? But it's going to look even prettier when we block it. So I'm just grabbing some more pins. And I'm just gently pulling on that and pinning it down. See if I can get it a bit closer for you. So I'm just pulling it, and I'm making sure that this edge is reasonably straight. I'm pushing those pins in. I'm doing it at a sideways. If I pull straight down, it's not going to stick, because I only have a towel to do for this part. If you had some of them rubber mats that the kids play on and they have the alphabet in them, if you had a really, really big one of those, you could use that. And you would be able to literally push it straight into the rubber. So I hope those pins are sticking out. But it's just pinned to the towel. It won't move. It's actually pinned to the carpet too, I think. That's okay. And we're going to repeat this all along the edges, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do on the ends of our shawl as well. Now that I've got one side, this side here is completely blocked. Completely pinned. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the other edge, this edge along here. I'm going to show you how to do this part later on. Can you see how it's wider here than it is up there? That isn't the way the camera's sitting, that is actually what it's done. Because what I've done is I've just sort of got my fingers and pushed it a little bit just to make it wider. And then I'm going to pin the corners, the edges down. And see how it's getting wider. Because it's wet, it will stretch. So again, I'm just sort of walking it up and then stretching it out. You may have to sort of lift it up off the towel a little bit as well. And then you can just stretch it out. See how much that's stretched? I don't know if you can see in the camera. I'll have to move the camera for you. Hang on. Hold on. See how much it's stretched out? That's gone really narrow. So that's how much we've gained. I haven't stretched that really much. Really much. That doesn't even make sense. I have not stretched it a lot. I've just pulled it across. And you'll need to pull it. Hi everybody. You'll need to pull it some more to pin it down. When it comes to pinning the edge, what I've got is I've pinned where I think that was a single crochet that we did there. We did single crochet all the way along, but when we did it into that single crochet from the previous row, so where the bottom of the shell is, I'm just pinning that out. And then I'm just pulling up the shell like that. Again, pulling out, pinning there. And then just pulling the shell up. You could pull the shell up at the end of the row if you wanted to. Again, finding where the dip is here, pulling out, and then just so you're just pulling that where all the single crochets are in that dip part. We're just pulling that straight out from the shawl. I'm going to work your way all the way along. I've completely finished pinning mine now. So now I've just given it one more spray of the warm water, and now I'm just going to let it dry. This will probably take 2, maybe 3 days to dry. It's winter here, so it's going to take longer than normal. So hopefully it'll be dry soon. The quicker it dries, the quicker I can get the video tutorial to a screen near you. So here is my shawl finished. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go and share some love on Beatrice Ryan Designs website. All the links that you need are in the description box. Please share your creations on our Facebook pages. My page and Beatrice Ryan Designs will also be in the description box. We'd love to see what colours you have used and the way that you're wearing your shawl. Please subscribe, there'll be plenty more videos to come. Also check out the recent newsletter located on my website. Again, links will be in the description box. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy crochet!